Okay, so starting from the top, so what we're looking at here is how to create a formula. So clicking in the cell that I want, go to insert, go to formulas, we go to insert function, and the one we want is if. Click on OK. The test that I want to do is to say that, right, I'm going to make the program look at this cell here, which is the quantity in kilos, and I'm going to say, right, well, if that value in there is less than 0.5, okay, then we're going to say that yes, it is low in stock. If it's false, we're going to say no, it's not low in stock. Okay, and that can sort of inform us a little bit about whether or not we need to order something. Okay, and we can see here that the aluminium nitrate, we've got a kilo, so it's not low in stock. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm then going to copy that formula, so I don't have to do it for each cell there, by using that little trick that we used before, by taking our cursor, taking it into the corner where the little square is, it turns black, click and drag down, and that's going to fill it in. You notice there that we've got a couple of no's and yeses, etc., and that can inform us a little bit about what we may need to order or look at ordering coming up. Now, if we have a huge spreadsheet, which we generally will do with something like this, it can make it really quite difficult, and without having a way to quickly overview things, you're going to have a pretty hard time at identifying, right, well, what do we actually need to do? It would be very time consuming and something that would be a real pain. So what you can do with Excel is you can use this other function, which is really quite neat, and it's called a pivot table. So you go up to insert, okay, and we click on pivot table. Now, a pivot table basically takes all of your data and summarizes it for you, so it's actually quite powerful. Now, what you'll notice here is it says choose the data you want to analyze. Okay, so we're analyzing this part here, and you can see there's like a little flashing border around there, so it's going to use that. And where is it going to be placed? Okay, well, we're going to say it's going to be placed in a new worksheet, which means that it will appear in a new sheet down the bottom here. So at the moment we're working on sheet 1. If we click on OK, up it pops here. So what we will do here, before I go into doing the pivot table, let's have a go at renaming those. So we right click on it, go to rename. We're going to call this raw data. Okay, I'll right click there on sheet 9. I'll rename that pivot table. Okay, now that just allows you to essentially have a little bit more control over what each thing is, and allows you to sort of see what you're doing a little bit easier. So looking at the pivot table, we can choose what kind of fields are in the table to summarize for us. So obviously we're trying to work out what chemicals are low in stock and what quantities do they, or let's say that we want to know what quantities they have existing. So let's check this out. So if I click on chemical, I'll click on low stock, and I'll click in quantity in kilograms or litres. It comes up like this. Now, at the moment, that's not so useful for us because it's been sorted in a manner as such that it's not really that conducive to working out what's needed, what's not. We can change the way that it is sorted by coming down to where it says rows here, and let's take the stock and put that on top of chemical. Now, if we look at this here, we can see that these are the ones which are not low in stock, okay? So I might just click on that, and that will actually hide and minimize that. And we can see now that these are the chemicals which are actually low in stock. Ammonium nitrate, barium nitrate, calcium nitrate, etc. Okay. Now, it does sum all of these values. Now, that's probably irrelevant for us. Okay. So don't worry about the sum. The reason why the sum's there is because it sums up all of the values based on the quantity. The reason why I left quantity there is so that you could actually see the amounts which are there in stock presently, but these are the ones which are low. So whether this pivot table would be helpful for you or not, might do. It's hopefully is an easier way for you to sort of look at a massive amount of data and say, right, well, okay, all of those ones there are quite low in stock. It's worthwhile us considering about they're the ones that we need to order next. Okay, so that's about it from that with pivot tables.